The Prime Minister has written to the ethics advisor Sir Laurie Magnus to confess an unfortunate error in the appointment of David Kogan as the first chair of England's independent football regulator. He had previously recused himself from decisions connected to the Football Governance Bill because of football hospitality and his own interest in the game. Yet in April 2025, a number 10 note asked whether he was content with Kogan as the preferred candidate. He replied he was supportive. Starmer now says he should neither have received the note nor replied to it, and he has ordered an internal review of how recusals are policed in Downing Street. Sir Laurie Magnus called the Prime Minister's involvement regrettable, but also praised the disclosure as an important demonstration of transparency and welcomed the review. That softens the blow, but it doesn't erase the basic problem. Once recused, the wall must be real, not porous. Meanwhile, Lisa Nandy, the Culture Secretary, has already apologised after the Commissioner for Public Appointments, Sir William Shawcross, found the process breached the governance code 3 times, including her failure to declare a $2,900 donation from Kogan to her 2020 leadership bid. The department also failed to handle political activity declarations properly. That is why Nandy, rather than Kogan, looks most exposed. She ran the process, she breached the code, and she then had to defend it at the dispatch box. What actually happened from autumn 2024, when Starmer agrees with Sir Laurie to recuse himself from the Football Governance Bill decisions, and then number 10 asks if the PM was content with the Kogan as the preferred candidate. He signals support. May 2025, concerns are raised to the Commissioner for Public Appointments. Spot checks begin, and then a full inquiry is launched. June, Starmer and Sir Laurie discuss reinforcing the recusal. October, the government confirms Kogan as chair for a 5-year term after the CMS committee had already judged him well suited in pre-appointment scrutiny. November, Shawcross publishes his decision notice, finding 3 material breaches of the code. Nandy apologises. The 12th of November, Starmer writes to Sir Laurie expressing sincere regret and commissioning a number 10 review. What the rules say is one thing, why it matters is another. Public appointments must uphold the Nolan principles. The governance code is not a nicety. Shawcross found the Secretary of State failed to declare the donation conflict. The department didn't discuss Kogan's political links at interview, and the department mishandled disclosure of the successful candidate's political activity. This is process failure, but it's not a value judgment on Kogan's competence. The CMS committee had already said Kogan's background made him suitable, but perceived conflicts corrode legitimacy even when the appointee is capable. Nandy owns the statutory appointment. She's made a mess on her own desk. Her apology accepts a breach of the code's integrity principle and puts the DCMS on the hook for weak conflict of interest hygiene. She's also had to face MPs after the report defending the outcome while conceding process faults. That is a classic case of ministerial accountability. Even an unknowing breach is still a breach. Politically, it reinforces a caricature of Labour as casual about process at the very moment it has promised higher standards. The Prime Minister's letter does 2 things right. It admits the error and initiates a fix, but it also confirms that his recusal shield was not airtight. The optics are damaging because Kogan is a donor to Labour causes, including Starmer's 2020 leadership run. Even if the Prime Minister believed the decision was the Culture Secretary's to take, once recused, he should have been insulated from the prompt seeking of view. The opposition had already framed this as cronyism and a breach of promised integrity. The independent football regulator was created to prevent another ESL-style rupture, to secure club finances across the pyramid, and to put fans' interests into the system. Whatever one thinks of the regulator philosophically, it now needs unimpeachable process to command respect from clubs and investors. The appointment is valid, Kogan remains in post, but the government should be ruthless about rebuilding confidence around the institution. The political take here, 3 issues. The standards gap. Starmer campaigned on integrity. The latter helps, but the gap between promise and practice is now a line of attack. Expect weeks of rules for them sound bites. Nandy's vulnerability. She's not going to be sacked for an unknowing breach backed by an apology, but her stock takes a hit and the opposition will keep her on defensive footing. There's no finding that Kogan is unqualified, and the CMS committee thought him well suited. The story is the system failure that taints the optics. What should happen next? Well, there are 5 concrete fixes. Number 10 must implement a written protocol that blocks recused ministers from receiving or replying to for info notes on that brief. Senior private secretary should certify compliance. The DCMS should conduct and minute donation and political activity searches on shortlisted candidates and all panel members for interviews. The Shawcross report shows why timing matters. And all relevant political links must be shared with panel members and discussed with candidates in interview, not tidied up after selection. The appointment press notice should always include a clear single-page conflict statement that sets out any political activity or donations and why they do not preclude appointment. The Cabinet Office Propriety and Ethics Team should audit DCMS appointments in 2026 to ensure lessons are embedded and publish a short report to Parliament. Starmer's apology was necessary and carefully pitched. It will not end the row. The only antidote is visible procedural rigour. As for Nandy, she is paying the political price for a sloppy process that she owned. Kogan may yet prove an effective chair. If the government wants the regulator to succeed, it must show how its standards are as robust as the powers it has just handed to the football's new watchdog.